Once upon a time in a small, peaceful countryside village called Meadowbrook, life was simple and calm. The village was nestled in the heart of a lush valley, with rolling green hills and vibrant wildflower meadows that stretched as far as the eye could see. The quaint houses in the village were built with love and care, and the villagers were known for their warmth and hospitality. In this idyllic setting lived a clumsy but lovable cow named Bessie. Bessie spent her days grazing on the lush grass and lazing about under the warm sun with her fellow bovine companions. The villagers adored Bessie for her kind heart and gentle demeanor, even though she was notorious for knocking over milk pails and tripping over her own hooves. Bessie's favorite pastime was to watch the local wildlife, particularly the kangaroos that inhabited the nearby meadows. She was absolutely captivated by their grace and agility as they effortlessly bounded through the fields. In her heart, she secretly wished that she could be like them, to hop and leap with elegance instead of lumbering awkwardly through the meadows like a cow. In the evenings, Bessie would sit by the edge of the village, gazing longingly at the kangaroos as they played and frolicked under the setting sun. The other cows didn't seem to understand her fascination with the kangaroos, but Bessie couldn't help but dream of a life where she could join them in their joyous, energetic escapades. One day, as Bessie was watching the kangaroos from her usual spot, she noticed a group of village children gathered around an old, tattered storybook. The children's eyes were wide with excitement as they listened to the story of a brave hero who overcame great obstacles to achieve their dreams. Inspired by the tale, Bessie felt a newfound determination well up within her. That night, under the twinkling stars, Bessie made a solemn vow. She decided that she would do whatever it took to become a kangaroo and embrace the graceful, adventurous life she had always yearned for. As she drifted off to sleep, dreams of hopping and leaping filled her mind, fueling her resolve to embark on the journey that lay ahead. Little did Bessie know, her quest to become a kangaroo would lead her to discover her own unique strengths and a world of hilarious adventures. The following morning, Bessie woke up with a sense of purpose and excitement that she had never experienced before. As she set off on her quest, she knew that she would need help to make her dream a reality. The first person she decided to consult was the village wise woman, Granny Mabel. Granny Mabel was known throughout Meadowbrook for her sage advice and vast knowledge of folklore and legends. Bessie approached Granny Mabel's cozy little cottage, her heart pounding with anticipation. She knocked hesitantly on the door, and was greeted by the sweet, wrinkled face of the wise woman. Granny Mabel listened patiently as Bessie shared her dream of becoming a kangaroo and asked for guidance on her journey. Granny Mabel pondered for a moment, her eyes twinkling with wisdom and understanding. "My dear Bessie," she began, "it's a most unusual dream you have, but I believe that everyone has the right to pursue their heart's desires. I cannot transform you into a kangaroo myself, but I can suggest 3 individuals who might be able to help you." She handed Bessie a small, weathered map with 3 locations marked on it. "First, you must visit Dr. Hopperstein, a brilliant yet eccentric scientist who lives in the mountains. Next, seek out Guru Mujibaba, a yoga instructor who specializes in teaching animals to find their inner peace and true selves. Finally, you must find Kangaroo, the legendary kangaroo whisperer who resides deep within the enchanted forest. Each of them may hold a piece of the puzzle to help you achieve your dream." Bessie's eyes lit up with hope and determination as she thanked Granny Mabel and set off on her journey. The road ahead would be long and arduous, filled with twists and turns that she could never have anticipated. However, she knew that she would not rest until she had explored every possible avenue to become a kangaroo. As Bessie left the village, she could feel the weight of her quest settling upon her shoulders. Unbeknownst to her, the villagers had begun to take notice of her unusual mission. Whispers and murmurs spread through Meadowbrook as they speculated about Bessie's chances of success and the absurdity of a cow wanting to become a kangaroo. But despite the skepticism and doubts of those around her, Bessie's resolve only grew stronger. She was determined to prove to everyone, and most importantly to herself, that she could achieve her seemingly impossible dream. Bessie's journey to Dr. Hopperstein's laboratory took her through lush meadows and across babbling brooks. As she climbed the winding mountain path, she couldn't help but admire the breathtaking landscape that surrounded her. her dream to become a kangaroo seemed to grow more tangible with every step she took. When Bessie finally reached the summit, she found herself standing before a peculiar building that was a curious mix of stone, metal, and glass. It looked more like a castle from a fairy tale than a scientist's laboratory. Gathering her courage, Bessie knocked on the massive wooden door. The door creaked open to reveal Dr. Hopperstein, a disheveled man with wild hair and thick glasses perched on his nose. He listened intently as Bessie explained her dream and Granny Mabel's suggestion that he might be able to help. Dr. Hopperstein's eyes gleamed with intrigue as he rubbed his hands together, clearly excited by the challenge. Ah, a cow that wants to be a kangaroo. What a fascinating endeavor. I believe I may have just the solution for you, my dear Bessie. He led her deep into his laboratory, where strange machines whirred and beakers bubbled. After hours of experimentation and countless failed attempts, Dr. Hopperstein unveiled his masterpiece, a pair of spring-loaded boots designed to help Bessie hop like a kangaroo. Elated, Bessie strapped on the boots and immediately began bouncing around the lab, clumsily knocking over equipment and causing chaos in her wake. Despite the newfound ability to hop, Bessie couldn't shake the feeling that she was still far from being a true kangaroo. Grateful for Dr. Hopperstein's efforts, she bid him farewell and continued on her journey, following the map to her next destination, the yoga studio of Guru Mujibaba. As Bessie made her way down the mountain, she marveled at her new hopping skills, though she still struggled to maintain her balance. The boots might have been a step in the right direction, but she knew that her quest was far from over. Unaware of the challenges and hilarious mishaps that still awaited her, Bessie hopped onward with a mix of enthusiasm and trepidation, determined to see her journey through to the end. Arriving at the quaint village nestled in the valley, Bessie spotted the yoga studio of Guru Mujibaba, a humble wooden building adorned with colorful flags and the soft chime of wind chimes. The smell of incense and the distant sound of a sitar greeted her as she entered the studio. Inside, she found Guru Mujibaba, an elderly, wise-looking cow with a long, flowing beard and a serene smile on his face. Bessie explained her dream of becoming a kangaroo and the progress she had made so far with Dr. Hopperstein's hopping boots. Guru Mujibaba listened attentively, nodding his head thoughtfully. I see, he said, stroking his beard. It is clear to me that you have come seeking balance and harmony within yourself, young one. If you wish to truly become like a kangaroo, you must first find your inner kangaroo spirit. Under Guru Mujibaba's guidance, Bessie embarked on a series of yoga lessons, learning poses that would strengthen her core and improve her balance. The lessons were filled with laughter and more than a few tumbles as Bessie struggled to maintain her hopping boots while contorting herself into various yoga positions. One day, as Bessie was practicing her downward cow pose, she overheard Guru Mujibaba speaking with another student. You see, he explained, the essence of yoga is not about achieving a particular shape or form, but rather about finding balance and harmony within oneself. True transformation comes from within. As Bessie's time at the yoga studio drew to a close, Guru Mujibaba presented her with a special gift, a pouch, lovingly crafted from the softest fabric. This pouch, he said, will remind you that, like the kangaroo, you have the strength to carry your dreams and aspirations with you, wherever you go. Bessie thanked Guru Mujibaba for his wisdom and kindness, tucking the pouch into her hopping boots as a reminder of the lessons she had learned. With newfound clarity, she set off on the final leg of her journey to meet the kangaroo whisperer, hoping that he would help her unlock the final piece of her kangaroo puzzle. Bessie's journey took her to the vast Australian outback, a seemingly endless expanse of red earth, dusty plains, and sparse vegetation. The scorching sun beat down on her as she trekked through the arid landscape, the hopping boots leaving unique tracks behind her. After days of travel, Bessie finally arrived at the humble abode of the legendary kangaroo whisperer, Old Man Roo. Living in a simple hut made of sticks and dried grass, Old Man Roo was a wiry, sun-weathered man with a deep connection to the land and its inhabitants. His reputation for communicating with kangaroos had brought Bessie to his doorstep, eager to learn from his wisdom. As Bessie approached Old Man Roo, she noticed him sitting cross-legged on the ground, surrounded by a group of kangaroos who seemed to be listening intently to his every word. She hesitated, not wanting to interrupt, but Old Man Roo beckoned her to join them. "I've been expecting you, Bessie," he said, his eyes twinkling with amusement. "Word travels fast in the outback. You're the cow who wants to be a kangaroo, eh?" Feeling a mixture of embarrassment and awe, Bessie shared her story with Old Man Roo, detailing her encounters with Dr. Hopperstein and Guru Mujibaba. As she spoke, the kangaroos listened intently, their ears swiveling to catch every word. When she had finished, Old Man Roo leaned back, stroking his grizzled beard. "Well, Bessie," he said, "it's clear to me that you've come a long way, both physically and spiritually. But there's one final lesson I can teach you, the secret to truly becoming one with the kangaroo spirit." Over the next several days, Bessie spent her time with Old Man Roo and the kangaroos, observing their behavior and learning to mimic their movements. She discovered the grace and agility inherent in their leaps, the strength and power in their legs, and the serenity in their stillness. As she practiced, Bessie found that the hopping boots became less of a hindrance and more of an extension of her own body, allowing her to move with a fluidity and grace she had never before experienced. Each day, she felt her connection with the kangaroo spirit grow stronger, and she knew that she was close to achieving her dream. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow over the outback, Old Man Roo called Bessie to join him on a small hill overlooking their camp. Together, they sat and watched as the stars began to emerge, sprinkling the sky with their celestial brilliance. "Bessie," he began, his voice soft and wise, "you've learned much in our time together. You've embraced the spirit of the kangaroo, and you've proven that you can hop and leap with the best of them. But there is one final truth I must share with you." Bessie listened intently, her heart pounding with anticipation. "The truth is," Old Man Roo continued, "you were never meant to be a kangaroo. You were born a cow, and that is where your true strength lies. Your journey has led you to discover your own unique gifts, and now you must embrace them." Bessie felt a pang of disappointment, but as she considered Old Man Roo's words, she realized the wisdom in them. She had always been a cow, and her journey had not been about becoming something else, but about discovering who she truly was. With newfound clarity, Bessie thanked Old Man Roo for his guidance and wisdom. As they descended the hill, a group of kangaroos gathered around them, forming a circle of solidarity and support. Bessie could feel their acceptance, and she knew that she had earned her place among them. As the days turned into weeks, Bessie continued to live with Old Man Roo and the kangaroos, embracing her identity as a cow while still honoring the lessons she had learned from her journey. She found that she could still hop and leap with the kangaroos, but she also rediscovered the joy of grazing on fresh grass and the comfort of her own herd. In her heart, Bessie carried the memories of Dr. Hopperstein's lab, Guru Mujibaba's yoga sessions, and the wisdom of Old Man Roo. She knew that she would never forget the friends she had made and the adventures she had experienced, but she also knew that she was ready to return home and share her newfound knowledge with her fellow cows. As Bessie said her farewells to her kangaroo friends and Old Man Roo, she set off on her journey back to the farm, her heart filled with gratitude and newfound wisdom. Along the way, she stopped at Dr. Hopperstein's lab and Guru Mujibaba's yoga studio to share the lessons she had learned about embracing her true self. When Bessie finally arrived back at the farm, she was greeted by a warm welcome from her fellow cows. They were amazed at the changes in Bessie, her confident demeanor and her ability to hop and leap with the grace of a kangaroo. Curious about her journey, they gathered around her, eager to hear her story. Bessie regaled them with tales of her adventures, the friends she had made, and the lessons she had learned. She explained how she had discovered her true self, and how her unique identity as a cow made her strong in ways she had never imagined. Inspired by Bessie's story, the other cows began to embrace their own unique qualities, finding strength in their differences. They formed a close-knit community, supporting and encouraging each other as they discovered their own hidden talents and strengths. And so, the farm became a place of joy and camaraderie, where every cow, and every other creature, felt welcomed and appreciated for who they truly were. Bessie continued to leap and hop alongside her kangaroo friends, but she also grazed and enjoyed the company of her fellow cows. She had learned that she didn't need to be a kangaroo to be special. She had been a hero all along, just by being her unique, clumsy, and lovable cow self. As the sun set on the farm, casting its warm glow over the contented animals, Bessie knew that she had found her place in the world. The cow that had once dreamed of being a kangaroo now understood the true value of embracing her own identity and the magic that came from being her authentic self.